Sorry, I'm not used to these lives yet. Hope that light doesn't totally suck. Maybe I should shut this. Better or worse? Better or worse? Maybe that's better. So dreary and gray today. Let's see if that works. Here we go. Just go right into the light. Um, yeah, today has been a very gray, drab, dull day. And um, hi, Bridget. And apparently, Jason Momoa was at the end of my street this morning, and I didn't know about it. Our favorite breakfast restaurant at the end of the street, um, they do like the best brunch. They posted this morning that Jason Momoa stopped in to have brunch today, and I just thought that was hilarious. That's not the first time that he's been in our area. I guess he has a friend that lives in our city. So, anyways, just a little tidbit. But it was very great today. I wanted to go for a walk, and maybe if I had gone for that walk, I might have met Khal Drogo. The world may never know. So, anyways, um, right? Like what? It's so strange, but for some reason, like he shows up in Ferndale all the time. Oh, I probably shouldn't say what city I live in. Um, anyways, um, yeah, I was just thinking about like the days that I don't feel like knitting or pattern writing or um, even honestly engaging in social media, which is why this live video has been such a struggle today because I was like I should go live, like I have some things I want to talk about, but also like don't feel like engaging with people today. So I guess this is kind of a hand first hand view, uh, a behind the scenes look, like I said in the title. This is behind the scenes with me of what those days seem like, what those days feel like. When I don't have that creative mind on, when I um, just can't get into a workflow. So today I spent a lot of time this morning reading, praying, drinking my coffee, getting the girls squared away with all of their online school stuff. And I spent a lot of time in that part of the day, just like resting, especially since I either broke or bruised my tailbone a little over a week ago. I'm still not able to do a lot of housework that involves any sort of bending, lifting, pushing, pulling, any of that stuff. So I'm kind of just pretty sedentary since that happened. And so I spent a lot of my morning just, like I said, in that kind of quiet, contemplative zone, which is why it's really hard for me to get words out right now. I don't know if this happens to you guys, but on the days where I'm like so much in my head, I almost forget how to communicate with people. Um, it's a really strange thing. I noticed it right after I had our first baby, actually before she was born, because I had to go on bed rest. So I spent a lot of time by myself in the last couple months of her pregnancy. And those days where I didn't talk to anybody all day, but I was just kind of in my own headspace. It was difficult to even say hello to my husband when he came home from work because I didn't even know how to engage in conversation. It's one of those days. That's why I'm so rambly and scatterbrained. And if you know what I'm talking about, like you relate, you understand what I'm saying. So I was thinking about what do I do on those days to kind of honor that space that we sometimes need. And so, like I said, quiet coffee time, praying, reading, and engaging in those like chill activities. And then I decided I needed to move, I needed to feel refreshed. So I took a shower, did my hair care routine, put on some makeup because that is something that helps me get out of my head a little more because then I'm just focused on something exterior. And so it makes it easier for me to transition from that very internal, emotional, sort of inner time out into doing something that's a little more social or interactive. I don't know if anybody else relates to that, how doing makeup, like, it literally shifts your brain from like inside to outside. And so it's kind of a tool for me in that way, that I can like do it and it gets me just kind of out of my head, and I love that experience. So that is the first couple of things I did up until today, like this time of the evening. It's I think it's about 5 o'clock here, and so we finished out school stuff for the day, kept the girls on track with all of their stuff and breakfast and lunch and all of the mom things, and got my nice hot shower, got my hair and makeup done. And so now I'm thinking, what's going to be the next thing I want to do with my day? I know it's kind of late in the evening at this point. Most of my day does go to my kids and home stuff. So I don't feel like knitting today. I have ideas. I have that skirt that I still want to continue working on. But I just wasn't in the knitting mood. So what I actually pulled out is what I've been doing a lot of throughout this summer, and I've just kind of continued because it's enjoyable for me. It's color, it's artistic and creative, but not with the pressure of designing that designing has for me, of having to produce something as almost a product. So I was going to color. And I've got these cool watercolor pencils that I use. I have like regular wooden watercolor pencils, but then also I have this full set of these mechanical pencil watercolor pencils, which I just love. So I've got a whole range of pretty colors to play with, and it reminds me of, I had a memory come up on my stories recently, I think on Instagram, where I had posted, if you could only describe me in one word, what would it be? And the majority overwhelming answer, which in and of itself I think is so funny that there was more than one person that thought of the exact same word. I guess it makes sense. But the word was colorful. And that is something that I do very much value in my life, is color. My house is colorful, my hair is colorful, my makeup is colorful, my wardrobe, my design style, all of that. So when I don't have the energy to pour into knitting, because knitting has become my job basically, I've started coloring and I love it. And I love just the peacefulness of it, but I still feel like I'm being creative. I still feel like I'm getting my brain moving in that sort of direction. Like I said, I have these days in the morning where I'm just so introverted, so in my own head. And when I want to transition out of that, sometimes I can't just jump straight into work mode or straight into creative mode. Coloring is something I get to do instead. So I wanted to share this because this is actually a picture of my best friend's arm and her tattoo that she currently has. So this is not my artwork. This is a black and white photo of her actual tattoo. It's a mermaid, sort of siren type of lady, beautiful woman. And she asked if I could, well, actually I offered. We had been talking about she's going to get it colored, and the original artist just couldn't seem to come up with color schemes that like she felt happy with, and so they chose to just part ways and let her have someone else finish the tattoo. And so she wanted something, she was explaining to me the kind of colors and things that she wants to see in her tattoo, and so I'm just kind of filling in now her tattoo with the color sort of as she described it to me. So this is what I have so far. And that's what I was going to next work on for today, until, it's time to make dinner. And tonight's the first presidential debate. I believe I will be watching it. As much as it might upset me, we'll see. But I also, in the same vein, I had something else I wanted to share with you guys, that involved coloring, and it is a drawing that I made for my husband for our anniversary. We just celebrated our 13th anniversary last weekend. Was it last weekend? So not this one that we just came out of, but the weekend before. We had like a hotel overnight stay, and that, if you saw my Instagram post about falling on my rollerblades and possibly breaking my tailbone, that was on our anniversary weekend. We were going to go rollerblade before we had dinner. We got a hotel room for the night, and we're gonna have like dinner in the room. It was a hot tub. It was very nice. But right before we were like all ready to celebrate and have a, nice relaxing evening without the kids, they were staying with grandma. I fell and broke my tailbone, or I think I broke it. I haven't even gone to the doctor because I don't have insurance right now. Thank you, COVID. At the beginning of quarantine, my husband lost his job, and he has a new job now, but the benefits that we had with his first job obviously lapsed, and so now we're waiting for the new benefits to kick in. So I haven't gone to the doctor for my tailbone because I don't have insurance, and from everything I've read, there's not really anything that they would do for me anyways. So anyways, that was a long aside to tell you about the drawing I made for him for our anniversary. So I was going to show you. It's not anything like, crazy talent or like any sort of like special creative skill, but this kind of stuff brings me so much joy. It's shining on the light there. But this is supposed to be sort of an interpretation of the first time we met was in a coffee shop. We actually met online. It's a long story. I'll tell it another day. If you guys want to hear the story of how we met, leave a comment down below. But it's a very long story. But this is the first day that we met face to face. And no, I did not have pink hair at the time. I didn't get pink hair until after I had my second baby. But it didn't feel right to color myself with brown hair. So it's kind of like a then and now version of our story. So my husband always likes to include the little tidbit that when we first met, I sat and smoked all of his cigarettes because it was back when you could still smoke inside coffee shops. And we were both smokers at the time. We are not anymore, unless you count cannabis. Not him. He doesn't use it right now, or at all, but I do. So this is kind of like a play on that of how I went from being a cigarette smoker to now a cannabis user. And the smoke is sort of supposed to represent like the intoxicating feeling of meeting your person for the first time and being in their presence, and just that wow, like you exist kind of a feeling. I also wanted it to have a little bit of representation of I've got my purse over here on the counter, he's got the cigarettes over here on the counter, and it was kind of supposed to be like my baggage coming into the relationship, his vices coming into the relationship, and how like from then until now, how we've let those things go. And but I just wanted a pretty little, and so I used my watercolor pencils. So you can see like I colored everything with the watercolor pencils, but then you go back in with a wet brush and you can blend and like float colors around. So that is my little 13th anniversary gift to my husband with our coffee mugs and that feeling of meeting your person for the first time. So I think that's probably enough to share with you today. I just wanted to reconnect and try to get out of my head a little bit. I'm sorry for how rambly this was, but I'm just committed to making this a part of my life at this point. Learning how to share with you guys, learning how to be very open and transparent with my life as it is, because the truth is, like, I have a very blessed life, but has not always felt that way. And so embracing that new chapter of my life, and just wanting to share my ups and downs every day, like highs and lows, and let you be a part of that. And I'm going to wrap it up because I'm going to keep rambling if I keep talking. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.